Hello everybody, my name is Jimena Magaña and I'm going to be presenting my signature assignment on the career of an educational guidance counselor. And a guidance counselor is someone you had in school who was someone there for you emotionally, educationally, and personally, and they were there to help you with anything under the sun, but one of their main goals was to help you move on from wherever you were. So if you were in middle school, helping you get to high school; if you were in high school, helping you get to college and such. So we're going to start with some strengths. The first one that I identify for myself is emotional awareness. This quote, "The greatest discovery of my generation is that human beings can alter their lives by changing the attitude of the mind." So being emotionally aware and knowing that you're going to have good days and bad days regardless, but knowing how to alter that and to bring it to a positive for yourself, or to use everything as a learning experience for the next day. And I think that's something really powerful because I feel like in decades, hundreds of years ago, emotions were just emotions, and we just had to deal with what they came with, the good, the bad, the ugly, and they were used to excuse a lot of actions. And I feel like nowadays we are held to a lot higher standards when it comes to dealing with our emotions and how we act because of them, which I think is really cool and something that I'm still learning on, but it's definitely something I've noticed like a huge improvement on myself on, and I will continue to keep learning to the best of my ability. Second one I listed for myself is organization. I also mentioned mentorship personality, prioritizing tasks or a job over my emotions, and then being able to see the takeaway no matter the negative. Navigating emotions is a skill that lets us tap energy and information, thus allowing us to select the most productive response. So I kind of want to tie that into like 4 and 5. No matter what's going on, I will be able to see something out of it. I feel like back then I was not able to do that. I was very emotion heavy and very focused on the negative. Versus now I can be like, you know what, hey, I see it from this point of view, and I don't even have to like struggle to get to that point. It's kind of just there, which is nice because maybe the frontal lobe's developing. Um, but yeah, I think it's really cool that I've kind of seen like that progress in myself just as a person. Um, and then I'm also able to separate like church and state. That's like the saying, right? Um, but even though I know something's going on in my head or outside of work, I'm always able to put that aside for the moment, do what I need to do, take care of business, and then move on, and then deal with whatever I need to deal with later. So I think that's something super important because being a counselor, you're going to deal with a lot of heavy information, and being able to kind of ignore it in that quick moment and then deal with it later when you have the proper time to could be super important. So, leadership. The skills I chose to implement are going to be mentoring, team building, and organization and planning. It's kind of funny that these came up again because I am training for my shift supervisor role right now, and all these things I literally learned about today, and I'm going to continue to learn about and continue to implement. So I took these very personal, and one of the first ones is a key tenet of leadership is helping your team grow to their full potential. You can do this by coaching and guiding your team members instead of prescribing or assigning work. I specifically have to do this and build my team around me and guide them to complete tasks, to work together, to get through rushes and everything like that. So it's very relationship building, motivating, or guided, sorry, versus like it says there, prescribing or assigning work. That's not my job whatsoever. Team building, like I said, I have to build a team around me no matter who's with me, whether it's the best of the team or the worst of the team. And I have to be able to recognize the value in that team, not just an individual. And I have to be able to get everybody to work together, regardless of their work types, personalities, age, gender, anything like that. I will also have to organize and plan, and I will have to do this by planning breaks, planning counts, planning when to do my pool, planning when to send people on their breaks, making sure, none of them meal violate and they all get their breaks in a timely manner and at an effective spot as well. And being a good manager means developing project management skills like organization planning. These skills can help you give your team clear insight into upcoming work, support them if they need to readjust priorities or rethink deadlines. Giving my team a plan of what I plan to do. Hey, so and so, you're going to go on your break at this time, then I'll take my lunch, then you'll do this, then we'll get this done. Giving them a plan is also going to help them help me because they're going to feel safe about when they're getting their breaks, what's going on, they're going to feel informed, and them being happy is going to mean I'm happy. So planning ahead of time and communicating that as well as being organized with everything is the best case scenario when it comes to running a shift and what I'm learning how to do at the moment. So these are why I picked these three, because they're very big parts of my job. And just, it's a big thing of what I have to do. Team building is part of my job. Organization is part of my job. I have to plan every single day, every minute of my day almost. I have to consistently mentor and coach is what we call it. How to help people improve at their job, how to get them to get out of old habits, bad habits, how to help them get faster, and not allowing my team to become stagnant when it comes to their progress or their development. And by giving them the plan, it allows them to have a clear insight of their day, and it allows them to feel more comfortable knowing that I'm there for help and support versus them kind of just being in the dark. And that's something that as a barista I appreciated as well when people gave me a plan. So moving on to motivation, I'm driven intrinsically, to make a career for myself where I can perform my best, help students and my peers while feeling intrinsically motivated to do my best for all those around me. And like intrinsic motivation says, oh my gosh, it's about being driven from within, so I don't feel the need to go and chase, a job that I won't be happy with for millions of dollars. And I'm not chasing this one because it has a lot of money involved. I'm chasing it because it's something that genuinely makes me happy and I feel like it gives me purpose. And in contrast, those driven by intrinsic emotions tend to attribute their failure to temporary causes. So, for example, poor strategy, and they have confidence in their abilities to learn. So let's say I mess up something on my shift tomorrow, right? Instead of being like, oh my God, I suck, I this, I that, I should quit. I could be like, hey, tomorrow I'm just not gonna do that, and I'll try something new. And being intrinsically motivated to do something, and even this job right now that I'm doing, I've been motivated to do for a couple years, and it's something that'll make me happy, being someone that I used to look up to all my supervisors, so now it's going to be cool to kind of be that for other people, and I want to give them the best possible experience for me being their leader. And so being able to learn from my mistakes and know that I can just try something new the next day and feel confident in failing, super important. So my role models. Find people who embody these principles and cultivate them into your own character development. I have noticed that even as a kid, I was very drawn to older people. And by this, I mean like my teachers, my counselors, my aunts and uncles. Anyone that I looked up to that was older, I was very drawn to. And I always got called a teacher's pet, or like someone who was just, talking to these people to get favors or anything like that. But it's never been that way, and I finally know why, because the things that those people were doing to, in their life at that time was something that I looked up to and I wanted to do as well, or to follow their footsteps. So this quote kind of goes perfectly, because my 3 role models are all people who I've been under and who I still am in contact with today, and they're all people who I see as successful and I would like to be like them. So my first one is Charlene Jovel. She was my 5th grade teacher. She gave me very personalized learning, especially when it came to math, because I'm not the best math learner. I actually hated math and I cried multiple times. Mind you, I was in 5th grade, it really wasn't that hard, but I genuinely struggled. And so she never failed to make me feel like it's okay if you don't get it. I never felt rushed. I never felt stupid around her, which was really nice. And she was very much a guidance figure in my life at the time. I was just going through a lot. So that was cool to have an adult I could talk to. And she just made me feel seen and heard regardless of what I talked to her about, which was really nice, especially at that age. Monica Godoy, which is who I did my SWOT analysis. Oh no, sorry, not SWOT analysis. The interview we had. She was my high school counselor, and she was a great one at that. And what I appreciated about her is that she always had an organized plan. She followed through, and then she adjusted anything as necessary. So she made my graduation plan. She made everything that I needed to get me to be successful and, obviously graduate high school on time. And I appreciated her organization because I'm a very organized person. So, clutter and unorganization give me a little bit of anxiety. So it was really cool to see someone, kind of just being organized and kind of making it easy for me and for herself. Michael Langton was my high school athletic director. This is something I'm looking into. maybe if I ever get bored of counseling or just kind of want to switch something up, as being an athletic director. He was very considerate and helpful as an athletic director. He kept every sport and athlete in mind with his decisions, finances, times, all that kind of stuff. And he made a lot of difficult decisions, which a lot of people legitimately hated him for, but he kind of took it like a champ. And he knew that he was doing what was right for the school, for the athletics of the campus. And that's something I respected a lot of him about, because he was just a cool dude and everybody hated him. But he was just very considerate, and he always wanted, what was best interest at heart. So that was really cool. And he kind of gave me the idea to do that, because I think that would be like quite literally the perfect job for me. And implementing empathy and advocacy, also something I'm dealing with right now at work, is something that I'm going to have to implement like tomorrow. So demonstrating a willingness to help a peer with personal problems. So showing kindness in the workplace can boost performance and culture. This is always nice when you know that someone cares about you on a deeper level than just like you're not performing, or you're not doing what I need you to do. It's like, okay, what could be going on in this person's life? It can it can lead to better performance and culture, and just it helps us be human. We're all human. This is another thing I plan on implementing, is genuine perspective taking. I feel like a lot of people at work don't think that you care as much as you do, but I care way too much sometimes. So as a supervisor, I'm going to consistently put myself in other people's place. This includes taking into account their personal lived experiences or perspectives of their employees. Putting myself in their shoes. As a barista 2 weeks ago, I know what it's like to be a barista, and I would like to feel considered if I were one. And I'm going to do that for them to my best possible ability, which I'm really excited for, because, I don't know, I feel like I can just bring them a different experience, which is cool. Cultivating compassion, which is something I also want to do. Go above the standard issue value statement and allow for time for compassionate reflection and response. I want to communicate to them that I genuinely do care about how they're doing and what they're feeling, and I just want them to feel safe and comfortable to be able to tell me anything, whether it's positive or negative, you know what I mean? And that's something, those are some relationships I'm excited to build. So my noble goals at the moment, I want to graduate with my bachelor's in educational studies here from ASU. Shout out Starbucks for the degree. I want to get my foot in the door while working on my counseling credential, and Miss Jovel, actually, my 5th grade teacher, is probably going to help me get a job at her private school, just as a TA and just kind of getting my foot in the door. I want to start my career in life at that time and begin to settle down, with big girl money at the time, maybe buy a house, pick somewhere to live. And then if I get bored as a counselor, I would possibly look into retiring as an athletic director or somewhere higher up in admin. And purpose and passion are built in and will reveal themselves if you let them. I think I've known I wanted to be in education since I was, I think, in the 4th or 5th grade. And ever since then, I haven't really changed. Every job that I've ever considered that I want to be in has always been in education. Whether it's a coach, a PE teacher, a counselor, athletic director, teacher, there's a lot. But they all revolve around the same thing, which is helping students. So that's what's kind of cool, is that I do know what my purpose is. It's something in education. And a driving passion or belief often serves a great motivator. Combining purpose with passion to harness the power of intrinsic motivations can teach us to strive and pursue our noble goals with energy and determination. I don't ever feel drained talking about my goals or dreadful of them, because that's what they are. That's my purpose, and that's what I'm meant to do. And I just think it's really cool that I found that early on in my life. I know it takes a lot of people to find it way later. So I'm super grateful for that. And these are my references. I used the textbook and 2 more articles, and those were the ones I found the most useful for my specific strengths, leadership, motivation, and all those ideals. Thank you so much for listening.